In discussions over conditions of service for medical officers. Even while that process was ongoing, the Ghana Medical Association has directed doctors to withdraw services to outpatients in all public facilities. We have been here before, and it all has a very familiar ring to it. In my last visit to Botswana, in my interaction with resident Ghanaian professionals, I commented on election year pressures and the temptation to yield to demands by professional groups for increased remuneration. In 2012, during the implementation of the single spine salary structure, you all remember, pressures from various groups led to award of interim premiums and other compensatory allowances whose net effect ballooned our remuneration and compensation wage bill from a little under 3 billion Ghana cedis to over 8 billion Ghana cedis. This consumed nearly 73% of total tax revenues in wages and compensation alone. The effect on the economy of that increase are still being felt up to this day, and we're managing gradually to turn the situation around. We've managed without retrenching any public sector staff to tame the impact of wages and compensation as a percentage of tax revenues from the high of 73% to 49% currently. Remember that the ECOWAS benchmark for achieving convergence criteria is supposed to be 35%. Mr. Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with a matter of equity and principle here. There are linkages and relativities between all public sector groups. Just yesterday, a friend was urging me to intervene and accede to the demand of the doctors. After all, there are only 2,800 of them, he told me. What he fails to realize is that there are 598,000 other public sector workers organized in 11 other professional groups lined up and just waiting to see what the doctors come away with from the negotiating table before they put in their own demands. Ladies and gentlemen, this will adversely affect the single spine pay policy and could result in breaking the spine. A lot of effort has gone into implementing this new universal public service salary structure, and nothing should be done to derail it. Ironically, I will say that if this spinal cord should break, it must not be at the hands of a group whose principal calling is rather to heal. The right to negotiate by professional groups is sacrosanct, and I believe that government and the medical officers must continue the dialogue on conditions of service to arrive at an amicable resolution in an atmosphere that is devoid of coercion. Currently, other negotiations are ongoing on other categories of allowances at the Public Services Joint Negotiating Committee. Any agreements that are reached in respect of allowances or conditions of services would have to be appropriately captured in the budget. And I want to say for emphasis that I will not authorize any expenditure on wages and compensation not provided for in the budget. Fiscal discipline requires that not a single pesewa is spent on remuneration outside what has been budgeted for. And this goes for both Article 71 office holders and those on the single spine. It goes for the President as well as the lowest public sector employee. I'm determined to hold the line no matter the political cost. Our people have sacrificed enough. We cannot afford another round of belt tightening after the electoral cycle is over. And as I said, the current IMF extended credit facility must be the last time we fall back on the IMF for any respite. But let me express my appreciation to you for keeping faith with the negotiation process. Government will negotiate in good faith and will at all times provide you in a transparent manner all the information that is required to enable you make a determination on what is fiscally possible and what is not. A healthy economy and a well-motivated public sector inures to the benefits of us all. I therefore urge all public sector workers to rededicate themselves to the letter and spirit of the discussions and conclusions we reached in Ho and reiterated recently in Takrady when we met to discuss as partners the sustainability of the single spine pay policy.